Vertical, horizontal, I don't know what it's trying to do here, but this one's going to be all on Facebook, Go High Level, and the Facebook ads. Specifically, the thing that I find that people want to know about when it comes to the High Level and Facebook ad setup is the automations, because the setup of High Level and Facebook, it's pretty straightforward. The way it works is you sign into your the back end of your High Level account, and you go to the automation section. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up for you guys, just like I did the other day. And you connect your Facebook page with High Level. You authenticate it, you sign in, and you decide which page High Level is going to be connected to. It's pretty straightforward. A few things to know about that is that you have to have admin rights to the Facebook page and to the ad account that you want to connect. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So specifically, I think what people want to know when it comes to the High Level Facebook ads thing is what that workflow looks like, because that's really where the sauce is, right? It's not in the connection. The connection is simple. Like I just mentioned, we're going to go over it again. Go to High Level settings, and I'm going to see if I can kind of pull it here, and then show you guys what that looks like. So you go to High Level settings, and then you go to integrations, and then from within integrations, you get to connect your Facebook page. And once you do that, you can then start to run, ads, okay, on Facebook. And so if you are a local home service company or you're running local Facebook ads, let me just kind of go back here. This is where you're going to do that. Okay. So this is the back end of my Facebook account. Of my High Level account. You go to settings, the very bottom, and then you go to integrations. And here is where you will connect your Facebook page. You see at the very bottom right here, I just basically click connect here, and it's going to give me a box that's going to show me all the pages that I have access to. At this point, like, you're going to only have like one, maybe two pages if you're a local business. We have like, several hundred, but you're going to get to pick the page. And then what happens is that if you want to run lead ads, there is this field here that says lead form. Okay. And all the lead forms that you have created are going to be in here. And if you notice that this section here, you have a button that says map fields. Okay. And this one here, unless it's green with a check mark like this, it is really not integrated into High Level. So you really have to click map fields. And then this is going to display all the fields that are inside of your Facebook lead form. And you just basically map them. Like, High Level will pull some of them, like full name, last name, addresses, if it recognizes that. But for the most part, if you have any custom fields in there, you're gonna have to create a custom value and then assign it to that one, based off of the questions that you've got. Okay, so that part is pretty straightforward. But I think what people are interested in is what happens to these leads and what does that flow look like? So DeAndre Lemont says, I do mobile detailing. Can I use the lead forms? Will it improve my lead quality? So yes, I'm going to stick around, okay, if you can, because I'm going to cover both. I'm going to cover the lead form portion of it, and I'm going to cover the messenger ad portion of it, because those are two very good ads that we run, but the setup is slightly different. Also, guys, any questions that you guys have, leave them please in the comment section. Any type of content that you guys are confused about, that you want me to make videos about, whether that is High Level, you want me to show something, I can always make a separate video on that, either short form or long form, or any sort of Facebook ad things that you're like, man, I wish somebody would explain this thing better. Just leave the topics in there. I'm actually looking for content topics for you guys, to cover a bunch of things, but I'm going to show you what this looks like. So if you're using a lead form, basically the process is going to be very, very simple. What you'll do here is, once you connect that Facebook page, you are going to come in here and add a trigger, and this is going to say, you're going to choose the lead form basically that you've mapped in there. Okay, and all you're going to do here is click save. And what this is going to do is going to import that lead in here as the first trigger. From here, a series of events is supposed to happen. Let me move this mic from here. A series of events happens, okay? These are all standard things. Facebook's gonna, High Level's gonna add it to the pipeline. It's gonna tag it. It's gonna assign to a user. All these things that you set up. Like, if you guys are new to High Level too, I'll leave a link to the High Level, to High Level in the description, where it's an affiliate link, but if you go through it, you will import all my automations that go in there as well. So very first thing that happens is immediately the text message goes out. And this is where people kind of get hung up. This text message, a lot of you guys are sounding super robotic. You need to send a text message exactly how you would text a friend or how you speak. Nobody in the history of ever, says, hello, sir, thank you, good day. Nobody says that, right? So if I'm looking for like a mobile detailing experience like you just mentioned, and I see your ad on Facebook and I click it and you send me a message that's like robotic, I'm probably not gonna respond to it because I'm gonna think that it's spam. But because typically I would text you and you would say like, oh yeah, like, hey, what kind of car do you drive, or like, and where you're at, and I would tell you, and then you would ask me like, are you looking for like a full detail, or interior exterior? And if I say I'm looking for a full detail, then you would say, all right, listen, man, we charge like 205, and we can come out and do it like this week. That's what natural conversations look like. So when you are setting these up for lead forms, okay, be human. Okay, in this case, I have some short codes in here because I use this for a lot of my clients. But basically, what this will read like is, DeAndre, this is Armando from Science Digital. Thanks for messaging me on Facebook, regarding your dryer vent or your car cleaning. I just want to make sure I got a good number for you, right? And when you respond, the automations are set up this way for for my lead ads. For 99% of them, obviously every company is a little bit different, so the verbiage is going to switch from company to company depending on what they need. So but High Level, we're going to wait for somebody to respond to this. So that's just a wait step. That's all, just a wait step. And in this case, it's a 1 hour timeout, but I recommend like a 15-minute timeout. Okay, so if the customer doesn't respond, if they respond or it's been 15 minutes, it's going to check for a couple things. Did they respond positively or negatively? Because some people are just jerks and they're just going to like say, go fly a kite or something. If they responded negatively, or if they did not respond, then they go through one section where, like, I can address this and say, hey, no problem, you weren't interested, no issues. But if they didn't respond, the system is designed to follow up with them. So it's going to continue to follow up with them. And in many instances, we have several branches of this that follow up with the person until they say no. If they said yes, okay, then my internal team, whoever the customer is, gets a phone notification in here, right? In-app notification, but they also get a text message. They get a text message and they get an email alert, letting them know like, hey, this is the lead that came through. And we continue down this rabbit hole until the lead either says yes or no. And I'll show you these conversations here in a second. Now, for messenger ads are a unique situation because with lead forms, you have an opportunity to grab somebody's contact details up front, right out of the gate. But messenger ads, you oftentimes don't know those contact details. However, messenger ads in a lot of cases produce really good results. The issue that people have with messenger ads is that it's a conversation that you're having with somebody, and it's non-scalable. Well, what does that mean? That means you have to have a one-on-one conversation with somebody, or you need automations to simulate a one-on-one conversation. All right, so here is what the setup for messenger looks like. And again, please, I urge you guys to expand on this setup based on your business. As more data comes in for your business, you're gonna know what to ask and what to do here. So in this situation, we're running Facebook lead ads, and all we're simply doing, okay, and this is gonna be an engagement ad, by the way. So an engagement ad as the objective, and the conversion objective or the conversion location is gonna be Facebook Messenger. That's what that is. That's how these are set up, okay? So somebody clicks on the ad. The very first thing that I ask them on the Facebook Messenger side is, are you interested in this service? So if you're doing mobile detailing, I would say, thank you for clicking over, Mike. Are you interested in getting a mobile detailing quote? Right? At this point, all we're doing is saying, did this person respond? Did they respond that way? Okay. From that point on, the entire conversation is handled on the high level side. We want to move people out of the Facebook space as fast as we possibly can and into a text message environment where we can continue to market and speak to them, in a more intimate setting, because Facebook is going to tell you you have 24 hours plus one message to send after that, and then if the lead doesn't respond, you can't reach them. And here's how people are activating Facebook. Here's how they're acting. They're acting the same way you and I would act. They go to Facebook, they're on there for a little bit, they see an ad, they click it, and then they close the app and they go about life. And it may be hours before they even get a notification, if anything. So we want to get these people into a text message conversation fast. So ads is set up. Somebody clicks on the Facebook Messenger. They say, I'm interested in what you've got. Instantly, what we have set up here is this a new person? Okay. And in our situation is if the contact has got a tag that's empty, then it's a brand new deal. If not, then we handle it differently. But what happens here is we add a tag Facebook Messenger, we add them to a specific pipeline. And then so we don't lose what's happening, we take whatever they typed into Messenger initially and we add it to the contact as a note. So if somebody says, oh, you know, I've got a Lamborghini and I need it detailed and this is where I'm at, that's going to be in here. If somebody tells you, hey, I'm looking for garage floor epoxy or painting or kitchen cabinet remodeling or something, and this is kind of what I've got going on, then that's what's going to be typed in there so you don't lose that in translation. Okay, so that's what happens there. Then we wait about 3 minutes because the system is going to check one thing. Okay, remember the first message that we asked on a Facebook Messenger ad was, leave me your phone number if you're interested in whatever service I have. So if you're doing cars, if you're interested in the mobile detail, leave me your phone number. We're not always on Facebook. If you're interested in roofing, if you're interested in driveway repair, if you're interested in concrete flooring, leave me your phone number because we're not always there, right? If they do not leave their phone number, high level is going to check. Okay, within 3 minutes, high level is checking. Did they leave me their phone number? Is the phone number empty? Okay, if the phone number happens to be empty, then high level goes into another follow-up sequence that is pushing for that. Hey, listen, I love to help you. I love to give you a quote on mobile detailing, but unless I have a phone number, I can't do anything with that because guess what? I can't give you a quote over Facebook, and we're not always on Facebook. People understand this because that's how you sell, how people shop. All right. The next thing that happens is, let's say they do have a phone number. We have two things that need to happen here. We need to address. Did they come in within business hours or not? Because those two different scenarios are going to require for you to speak to people differently. If they came in during business hours, great. Here's the thing that we say. They came in during business hours and they left us a phone number. Fantastic. Hey, listen, I'm going to reach out shortly because we're not always on Facebook. And then instantly, boom, a text message goes out to them. Hey, this is, Mike with ABC Company. I messaged you. You messaged me on Facebook. I just want to follow up here on text. And you go through the sales process. So internal notification goes out to your team. You can have SMS notification, etc. If they are outside of the business hour scope, then we typically initiate an outside of business hours workflow where we'll say something like, hey, you reached us after hours. I just want to make sure that, our system knows this, like that you reach us after hours. We're going to send you a confirmation text with a time to speak tomorrow, or here's a link, pick a time and we'll call you back, or whatever the case is. And if you look at this example, this is a real live example, by the way, on a workflow that I'm working on that's got real data. So look at that, okay? We have 9 leads. I don't know if you guys can see that. 9 leads that came in within business hours from this Facebook ad. And we also have 5 that came in outside of those business hours. So these real situations are happening. And what happens for a lot of companies is that they can't get to these leads fast enough, much less the ones outside of business hours. So if you don't have the automation set up on the back end, you're kind of burning money on Facebook ads. And I'll show you in another video how we're setting this up for Google Ads. For anybody who's running PPC ads, This isn't just for Facebook. You can take advantage of this with Google Ads as well, and it'll rock and roll. So we could have possibly missed 5 opportunities outside of the business hours and 9 opportunities inside of business hours because if we didn't have this automation, right? So I'm gonna see if I can go to an account here and show you guys the conversations that we're having with people, so you guys can kind of see what this looks like for for a local home service company. Um, all right, so here's one. Okay, in this case, it's a Facebook lead ad, and a lead comes in. All the information is on Facebook. From Facebook is imported into High Level. The initial text goes out. Hey, we just want to make sure that you do not have a that this is the right phone number. This is the second validation point. I want to make sure that you didn't give me fake information, right? Yep, that's me. All right, let's go. And then from here on out, our automations can kick in, or you can take control manually. One thing I will tell you: do not overcomplicate this process, okay? Because a lot of you want to overbuild. You want to over-engineer these like bots and everything else, and sometimes this right here, saying yes and a simple text message like "cool, I'll call you," is like what you need to close the deal. You don't have to complicate everything. Just because somebody else and everyone and their mom seems to be doing AI right now doesn't mean that that's the right thing to do, right? If I don't have High Level yet and I want to see who submitted a form on Facebook, how do I do that? Ooh, see, that's the thing, right? So if you don't have High Level right now and you want to see who submitted a form, you're literally going to have to go to Facebook on your computer, because you cannot access that from inside of a mobile, device, right? You have to go to your computer. You got to go to the Facebook page that you're an admin of, and I'll see if I can find it here and I'll show you. Um, you got to go here, right? You got to find the page that you're an admin of. In my case, I'm going to switch to my business page. I'll show you what that looks like. And it's the process, man. Like now you got to go to this messenger button, and now you got to go here to the sidebar, and now you're going to see lead center. And if you look at lead center, you're going to see all the leads that came in. These are all through forms, right? These are all through lead forms that have come in. So you kind of see like, if you click on that, you'll be able to see all the lead details right here on this side. So it is a process to do this without automation. And this is where 99% of people are losing their minds, because you're paying for this and you're paying for a lead ad or a messenger ad. And if you cannot reach these people instantly, and that's not an exaggeration, instantly, okay? They close the app and they forget about you and life goes on. So you have to reach out to them instantly. And the only way to do this is through automations. Now, I'm not saying High Level is the only software that allows you to do this, but to be quite frank with you, we have done automations before High Level even existed using Zapier in like 3 or 4 different tools. And it just makes life so much easier. For the price point is like a no-brainer. But that's how you would do it, man. And so it's crazy, right? So if you're in the middle of the day and you're dealing with customer issues, or you're speaking with customers and a lead comes through, sometimes you don't even know, like you don't even get that notification that a lead came through from Facebook. And you're like, oh shoot, I got a new lead, and turns out it came in 3 hours ago. Now you go check it and you got to go through this process again. So no wonder you can't get a hold of people. People say, oh, I can't get a hold of them. That's because they probably already forgot about you or went with someone else. And so that's how you do it. But like, check this out. Here's like real world conversation, right? So this is what I just described. This is a form. Somebody comes in, all right? We ask them like, hey, thank you for requesting info on Facebook. We just want to make sure we got the right number. Now look at that timestamp right there, okay? 3:28 p.m. and at 3:28 p.m. exactly, they get an automated text. So this is when they filled out that form online on Facebook, and this is when that text came through. Now, in between here and here, the system waited because she didn't respond to this. So you see there's no response. So we followed up with her. The automations follow up with her. Hey, just want to make sure you still want this. And then she responds, yeah, how much do you charge? And at this point, it's all sales from here, right? So this is how we kind of set things up for both the automations, for lead ads and for messenger ads. Okay. Tips, 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 questions and concerns and things that we see that we are going to help you guys with. Okay, so first and foremost, um, write how you speak. Okay, think about what you're doing. You're sending somebody a message, a text message, or something on Messenger. It's not really formal. Okay, it's not like yes, ma'am, whatever. So if you reach out to me, for example, on Messenger, and you're like, hey, I want to know about what it costs to set up, ads. I'm not gonna respond with like, sir, I this and that. I'm gonna be like, no problem. Hey, what sort of business are you in? Right? It's just a very natural type of conversation, just like you would be speaking to a friend across the table, right? Um, so that's going to be key when it comes to making the automations work, specifically with high level, because high level does so much, but a lot of people are missing that human sort of connection and interaction with things. So um, those are the ones that you want to. That's how you kind of want to set these up. Okay. Again, if you guys, I don't see any more questions coming through. I'm pretty sure that at some point somebody's going to have some stuff, but if you have any questions about this stuff, automations, Facebook ads, leave them in the comment section, and I will get to them. Also, it would really help me if you have topics that you want to cover. Maybe something that comes to mind, and you're like, man, I want to see how this is done or how this is set up, or I want to see how it works for this type of company or whatever. Leave me content ideas. I like to get some content ideas for you guys. I plan to kind of create more content on YouTube, whether it's long form or short form or lives. I don't know if y'all like lives or not. But anywho, I think I covered kind of what our setup is like. It's very difficult to cover everything in depth on this type of video format. But again, if you guys have questions, leave them in the comment section. We'll talk soon. Oh, resources are going to be linked in the description. So, that's that.